What is up, Retromaniacs? My name is Mike. His name's Joe. His name's EP. And we're here to talk about cards. You know, guys, tomorrow's a little holiday called Thanksgiving. And we've talked about this for a couple of years, but we always thought about it after Thanksgiving. So this year, we're going to talk about what we are thankful for. So, Joe, get us started. I'm interested to hear what somebody like you is thankful for.
What the? Is that
What? I don't know.
Mike? Well, Mike, for those of you, now I'm going to be a little somber after that. For those of you who watched the podcast on Monday, I'm just thankful to be alive.
Mike did tee that up for you. He did tee that up for you.
I'm really thankful to be alive, so I can open up non-sports cards. That's why I'm thankful to be alive. Nothing else. I'll tell you what. I am so thankful. Joking aside, I am so thankful for non-sports cards. We talk on this channel all the time about how Fanatics isn't technically a monopoly, but it sure feels like they are, right? But we have this little safe spot for now where we can buy non-sports cards and not be just like riddled with terrible Fanatics products. And I love it. I'm so thankful for it. I was specifically going to talk about Star Trek, but then I'm like, no, I opened up 3 cases of Fleer Ultra Wolverine.
Yeah.
When
Watch one of the 47 videos.
I think one of them's almost at 15,000 views. Keep it going, kids. Let's get it up to 20. But when Fleer Ultra Superman comes out, I'm worried I'm going to open up more than 3 cases of that. Like, I open up a ton of Star Trek cards now. I collect Star Trek cards. I am just so thankful, legitimately, that there's something other than sports cards out there. I think those cards hit nostalgia way more than sports cards do, especially Ultra Modern. And it's so much fun to open them, and you don't feel gross afterwards. It's not like you just ate like 3 plates of turkey and mashed potatoes and mac and cheese and feel like crap after. This is like, you had a sensible meal and save some room for some cheesecake, some pumpkin cheesecake. You just feel fantastic afterwards. So yeah, that's my first one, boys. I am so thankful for non-sports cards and the ability to not have to deal with Fanatics for now.
I love it. I know that we've said it on the channel a couple times before. It was one of you two that said it for the first time. When you open up like a Marvel product, it feels like every card is an insert card. And it just does. Like, there's something about those cards that they feel more special. Maybe it's because we've opened up so much football and baseball, and there's so many. We've seen so many base cards that when we insert card, oh, that's cool. When all these cards, because of the art and the design and everything, look like inserts. I'm all in on the non-sports train too, Joe. I love it. I'm still buying a few sports here and there, but for the most part, I'm like the non-sports, especially like the vintage stuff, the '90s stuff, awesome stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you in the 90s, non-sports, this stuff was your wheelhouse. So, like, I could totally understand that. But, like, I think it's interesting, too, that EP and I both enjoy it, too, when both of us were more into sports cards back then, too. And, like, it's just a lesson for anybody out there. If you collect sports cards, fine. Like, I still like opening sports cards, a lot of fun. But try something non-sports. There's something out there you like other than sports. Yeah. Find that and see if they have cards and buy a box and see how you feel about it, because it's just the way sports card collecting has become with the prices of everything and everything being price driven. It's harder and harder to just rip something to enjoy it. So find yourself some non-sports, see what you think.
Rittenhouse is doing Cheers cards, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.
For everybody.
Lid for every pot, ass for every saddle. Moving on.
Yep. All righty, P. What are you thankful for?
Well, my first one is that the card shows exist near me and that I started setting up at them. I have met some amazing people, both the community of dealers that are setting up. Card Show Kevin, I never would have met him if I didn't well, I mean, I guess I met him going to the shows and stuff, but you get to like to know these people and talk to them more, when you're setting up before, when everybody's setting up in the morning when it's still dark in the mall and everything. It's just a cool time. And then also the other side of it, the people buying, like it's a lot of the same people walking around. So you meet them, you remember what they collect, you say, oh, I got this card for you and stuff like that. So that's a really cool moment. And then of course, other than my last show when I barely made my table fees, typically I can sell enough to be able to buy a few more cards here and there, which is the whole point of it. So
I don't want to know what you guys are doing there in the mall in the dark before it opens. But yeah, I mean, totally, I can see this for you. I'm happy that you're happy about that. I'm happy for you. Me, on the other hand, not a people person. I probably couldn't do that. But you, this is right up your alley. And totally, you are in your element when you're there. I can tell, like, you really enjoy being there all day long, standing up, not wanting to sit down.
No.
But hey, I can see your enthusiasm for it. And yeah, great time.
I set up with you one time, EP, and I am more of a people person than Mike, but I also hate people a lot more than Mike. Like I either like people or I really hate them. Sure. So when some of the folks were coming up to your table, I'm like, I'm gonna go talk to Troy or whatever. Like I kind of, like kind of like the Homer Simpson into the bushes thing. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you were in your element. You didn't want to sit down because you were worried you'd fall asleep. Let's put it out there. But yeah, you have a great time at these shows, and I had a lot of fun setting up with you. Anyway, I can see the appeal. I wouldn't want to do it more than once, but I can see the appeal for you, especially. So yeah, this is perfect for you.
All right, I'm going to start off with a fun one because I need to balance my stuff out. This one's kind of dumb, but I am thankful for used top loaders. Used top loaders.
Yeah, simple. I have stacks of them.
They can be yellow. They can be clear as day. I don't care. They're used. I take them because in my stack sales, I go through thousands and thousands of these during shipping. They're like, I have a stack like 2 rows this high on my desk at all times because I use them all the time. And when it starts to get low, I'm like, oh no, I have to find others. I still have plenty. I probably had 15, 20,000 from my shop that were left over, but yeah, and I've gotten more. But I am very thankful for used top loaders because, hey, give them a purpose. And stop the hate of yellow top loaders. It is not from smoke.
It's not from smoking.
You think it's from smoke. Seems like 90% of the hobby thinks anytime there's a tweet about it, yeah, of all the people, oh, how do they smell? They smell like plastic, like the other ones that are clear, because they're not that way because of smoke. And if you think they are, you're an idiot. Hope you have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, right. Like Jesus, all the loser eaters out there.
Okay.
So I'm with you on this one. I have a ton of used top loaders from the shop, yellowed and otherwise. I just don't use them for putting the cards in. I'll sometimes use them as the in between.
That's what I use it for. I do is when I'm shipping the cards, they're in the soft sleeves. I put them in like a graded team bag, so a little bigger, and I put a couple of those on the front and a couple of those on the back. And if I need, if somebody has like 50 cards, I do a couple of those, tape them together, and can throw them in a bubble envelope, and I'm good. So.
Yep. Exactly. I mean, there's so many. It's nice to see plastic having a second life. That's what I'm all about here.
Reuse it.
Reuse it.
Exactly. Like you can't reuse soft sleeves. I feel like those just throw those away. Don't worry about that. Yeah. But when it comes to top loaders, like if you take the two top loaders and put 2 of them like this, they become like a really good thing to sandwich your stuff in. Like you guys said, like that is perfect. That's what I've used it for. When you're ever sending something out, like find a use for them. I love that. It's great.
All right, Joe. What are you thankful for?
I'm thankful that not everyone in the hobby is a shit. It's a very general thing, but I will say this. You go on social media, especially, we've talked about this before, especially nowadays, feels like people don't realize that there are repercussions to things they say that they can just say. There are, though, this group of people. They watch our channel. We're going to talk more about the channel and stuff in general, or specifically at the end. But like they're actual good people out there who you interact with. And I mentioned him before already. Our buddy Troy DeFish. He's an example of this. He was going to the Philly card show. He knows they have Star Trek cards there. He reached out to me. He said, I'm going to the Philly card show. Is there anything you're looking for? And he found me the last Patrick Stewart autograph I needed for my collection. Like, someone like that, like willing to broker a deal with someone or work with someone to try and get the card I'm looking for. Just generally people interacting that we have a good time with, that don't take this too seriously, that aren't yucking other people's yums, as EP has made famous on this show. Like there aren't. It seems like the D-bag voices are so much louder, but when you can kind of get through, there's some really, really great people out there. I enjoy looking at their cards when they post them, even if I don't care about that sport or that athlete or that set or whatever. Oh, he's happy about this card. So I am thankful that there are actually still some people left out there who are not giant tool bags. Thank you very much.
That's awesome, Joe. I'm not on Twitter as much as you guys, but I know I believe that the reason I love the card shows as much as I do is because of that. Because there are a lot of people that set up around me, and we just have a good time.
Mentor
the group. Well, I wouldn't say that I mentor, but there are a lot of people everybody that I've set up around. I've had a good time with, good interactions with, and they seem like good people. And most of the time, the customers are that way too. I've had a couple. Joe, you were there for the one customer.
Yeah, I was there for that guy.
He was out there. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, the people that show up at the show as well, I have good interactions with them, and they're interested in the cards, or they're interested in the hobby itself. Maybe they're outside the hobby and getting interested, but it seems like I've really good interactions, and so it's really cool to meet those people.
Yeah. I'm not a people person.
Famously.
But, I've met a lot of good people, and you meet them on social media, or you meet them at shows, like people that are dealers, people that are customers, people that, it's just, there are good people out there. And that's kind of the point of this. Social media can be a disaster, but seek out the people that aren't that way, and follow them and interact with them, and you can have a much better experience.
For sure.
All right, EP. What else are you thankful for?
Well, technology that has helped me with my eBay sales, listings and sales. I've said before that I feel like my when I'm in this hobby, when I'm truly in it, I am buying and I'm selling and I'm getting new cards, and I'm that's a huge part of my collecting experience. And if I'm not doing all those parts, then it feels kind of hollow. It feels like, well, I've got too many cards. I don't want to do this anymore. All I'm doing is it doesn't feel right if I'm not doing all that stuff. And so having the feeder scanner coupled with Card Dealer Pro has allowed me to take photos quickly, get cards listed quickly, so I can continue to do that. The label printer, my gosh, I mean, the amount of time that saves me printing labels and sending stuff, I wouldn't be able to with my current job the way it is. I wouldn't be able to sell the number of cards that I'm selling typically, shipping every day, without the tools that I have. So that it has made my life so much better, and I'm able to stay in the hobby and keep doing this because of that technology.
I've got my pen for this.
Here it comes.
I often wonder, if we had the technology that there is today, if I would still be selling cards for a living. And
yes,
I
think you would be.
Imagine having the feeder scanner and Card Dealer Pro and all the different avenues where you can sell stuff, all the different marketplaces. Imagine having YouTube.
Right.
We talk about this all the time, but we joked about this should be a show. We've said that in the shop a million times. I feel like maybe if I had all today's technology back then, I might keep doing, because I would have absolutely adopted all of this and been using all of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you would still have the shop, because there were other reasons you decided to close the shop beyond financial or anything like that, right? But I think you still would be in the hobby. I think you would have still been in the hobby that entire time. So whether it's in the shop or not, or maybe stopped for a little bit and then got back in right away. But I think you would have stayed with this hobby, with the technology that we have. And who knows? I mean, and that's the thing. I joke around all the time about this, but if you guys just one day said, we're done with cards, I'd be like, well, I am. Like, I probably would be too, because we have these outlets. And again, we'll talk more about that. But same thing with like fantasy football. If you guys decide, oh, we're done with fantasy football, I'm like, well, it wouldn't be fun without you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So once you close the shop, it was like, for me, I was like, I'm good on card. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of moved on because we didn't have that outlet. So if you would have kept that open, I think all three of us probably would still, you know, and it's weird to go from technology to this, but it kind of, if you kept the shop open because of technology, I'm sure the three of us would have been doing cards this whole time, right?
We would have a million subscribers.
At least million and a half.
We might have invented YouTube instead of, you know,
we may have.
It didn't exist back. It didn't exist back in the 90s.
We
right?
should have.
We should have.
All right. Second thing I'm thankful for, you know, I hate people. I don't like people at all. I do like people to watch our shows, but no, I'm joking, obviously. But you know, Joe, you kind of talked about it a little bit. I really am thankful for my Twitter following and the number of people that like to buy cards from me on Twitter. I sell a lot of cards on Twitter. Like literally the number of cards is astounding. And I'm not doing this full time, but like it has given me, I'm not just talking about the financial aspect of it, although I do appreciate that too. I've been very successful with the sales I've run, which makes me feel good and wants me to keep doing it. You know, I've talked how many times, every time I'm done with a sale, I'm done, but I do more because it's fun. And like, I like looking, like it gives me this hobby. I can go to shows and look for cards, but not just, oh, what can I make money on? I know people that like certain cards, and it's given me a way to do this hobby that I didn't have before. I can go look for Barry Sanders because this person buys that, or I can get a Derek Thomas card because this person buys that. And like, I see cards and I go, oh, I wonder if so-and-so has this. I think this is really cool. I think they'll think it's cool. And, you know, it's just, I really appreciate that I have the people that participate in my sales and, you know, develop, like they're like customers that came into my shop, even though most of them I've never met in person. Yeah. So like, it's given me a way to get back. I've talked about when I closed my shop, the one thing I missed about it was the social interaction of it. Like I didn't enjoy it at the time I was done. It had changed and my dad not being around anymore. Things were different, but I always did miss the interaction with the regulars. And now I have virtual regulars and I think that's so cool.
Yeah. I mean, you've like the amount of stuff that you've been able to, like, you'll buy something. I'm like, there's no, who's buying that? Like the pack stack sale, like just, you know, like, and whenever you text, oh, this is my last one. I'll text CP on the side. I go, I call bullshit on this. What are we, what's the over under a month? What do you think the next one's going to be? But yeah, you have a blast with it. You know, the time you put towards it is like, I would love to see EP try to do it for like a week because he would probably just die from the amount of time between that and work. But
not possible.
Yeah, it's not possible. There's not enough hours in the day. But the time and effort you put into it, it shows. Your customers love it. When you do a, oh, hey, coming soon, or I might be up to something, like the amount of response is like, oh, you know, and again, I'll roll my eyes and like, holy shit, he's doing another one. What was the clock on that? Who won that bet? But yeah, you have a blast with it.
I have a little bit of a thankful, it's my comments to your thankful. I'm thankful that you shared some of your stack sale buyers with me. And I've only done like maybe 4 stack sales, maybe 5 stack sales, something like that. So not nearly the volume. Again, I need to have days off typically to be able to do it and stuff. But those people they still follow me on Twitter. They still interact. I still interact with them. They interact with me, and I consider them friends. Like the people that buy from you are genuinely awesome people. And I'm glad that I met them through you. I'm glad you shared them with me when I was doing stack sales, and you recommended that they check out my sale. And so now I consider them friends too. Like it's a very, very cool experience.
And that's part of it too. Like when there are other people, there are a few other sellers when they run stack sales, they're good people. And I know they are. So I'm not like protective of my people. I'll share their sales because those people that follow me, I know who they collect, and I know they're going to like some of these cards too. And I want them to be able to get cards they like, even if it's not from me. So yeah, I mean, it's just the fun part, that part of the hobby. So, all right, Joe, what's your last thing you're thankful for? Certainly not the only other thing, but just for this show.
Well, I'm going to give an honorable mention because I almost died last week, so I get a freebie, right? Is that no? All right? My honorable mention is actually tied to the last one I did a little bit. I just want to throw it out there. I'm thankful for other YouTube content creators who actually care about their content. So just a real quick thank you to them. You know, we talked about Alico 3 videos and him dropping his grading reviews, Little Victories, guys like that, guys at Silver Sport, who I follow, and our buddy Mike Jones follows.
Free entertainment.
Entertainment, right? That's how you always have to think about it. You may not agree with what they're saying. You may roll your eyes if they do an ad, any sort of ad or promo code or whatever. But just remember, they're doing it generally for free. You're watching it for free. Chill out. So just be thankful for the content you get from those folks. For my last... What's that?
Drop a like on.
Drop a like. Right. Drop a like on this video.
No, like this one. Yeah.
But my last one, what I'm really thankful for is actually the ingenuity of this hobby. And I say that because we talked about that. We alluded to this a little bit, the technology, the difference in technology. Now, I'm not specifically talking about, scanners and Card Pro or whatever. I'm not talking about that stuff. I'm talking about, I want a really cool stand to display a Star Trek card. Guess what? Someone out there makes 3D stands that they can put my social media info on, and I can display Star Trek cards. Oh, I like my slabs to be, when I display them, I like them to be clean, scratch free. Oh, I can buy slab mags, right? I can go out and get booklet one touches. There are booklet cards that I just purchased and they're getting sent to me. Well, I'm going to make sure I have the right size because guess what? There's multiple size, so people do not realize how good they have it now. If they did not collect cards in the 90s and early 2000s, when we were using team bags for slab bags, okay, we were using those old team bags for PSA. They didn't even cover the whole slab.
You had to take two of them, one upside down.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So people don't realize how good they have it. But that being said, I'm thankful that people are pushing like the boundaries on what's possible with cards. And it's not just the manufacturers like Fanatics and Panini and stuff like that. I just mean like all these ancillary accessories. I think they're a lot of fun. I love a good accessory. So I love the fact that I can go out, there's some tried and true stuff out there, obviously, but I love that I can go out and if I want something different, I want something specific, guess what? You're going to be able to find it now. So I'm thankful for that. I think there's a lot of cool stuff out there and a lot of stuff that we've used, we've promoted, we've talked about. Go out. If you want something, you can go out and find it.
I love it. I have the same thing. Like I have so many different kinds of Ultra Pro sleeves. I have the ones that fit the top, the box toppers. I have, so I have all that sort of stuff. I love this. And I opened up on the channel for Extra Innings with EP weeks and weeks ago. Those soft sleeves that fit for the mini cards.
Yeah. I almost bought some and I don't even have mini cards. That's how cool those are. Like I love them.
It's so cool, and I love that we have all these things available to us. I'm thankful as well.
I bought a stack of Allen and Ginter mini cards from Docs just because they were in top loaders. Yeah,
right.
Like that's why you talk about the 90s, Joe. You should have been collecting in the early 80s.
Oh yeah, I bet.
I don't even know that I knew what a top loader was back
right.
then. Like I did think we have some kind of like semi-rigid holder, but yeah, I don't even really remember what there was. Yeah. There wasn't much, but if only the manufacturers would join in and fingers
crossed.
What can we do? What different can we do? Yeah. All right, EP. What do you have for us?
All right. Now hear me out.
You're almost laughing. So
yeah, this can't be great.
Hear me out before you guys react. I'm thankful for Fanatics.
Of course you are.
Okay. Now, listen,
I was going to say this as a joke, by the way. As an aside, I was going to say I was
This is a
thankful
bit?
for Fanatics
This is
as
a
a
bit.
this
joke.
is not. This is not a bit. This is not a bit. They have had their missteps, very, very huge and minor missteps. They have been very, very bad. There have been a lot of bad. There's been a lot of bad, but also everybody's talking about. There's not everybody. There's a lot more people talking about this hobby now. Because I believe because of them. Sports Illustrated, The Athletic, they added new verticals on their websites that are dedicated to the hobby. I think that Fanatics is driving that. They're putting commercials out there. They've also innovated, which is something the hobby has not done a lot of leading up to it. The MVP buyback program, got the rookie debut patches, the Topps Mercury Wembanyama set, which is not for us, but they are focusing that on the customers that they want, and they're giving people what they want. So we pan that for sure. So this is not giving them an excuse to like rest on their laurels now. They need to keep going with it. But I think I'm still hopeful that the hobby is going to be okay despite the prices and all that sort of stuff. There it is.
So
Go ahead.
this
Joe,
reminds
please.
me. So this reminds me a little bit of real Thanksgiving, where you sit around and you're with your family and you don't always agree on those hot button issues like politics and religion. And your crazy uncle comes in and says some really off the rails. And you're like, you know what? I love him no matter what. I'm not going to say anything.
Give me
Mike?
another drink.
so
Boy,
I'm not going to say anything to that. I'm thankful for you being thankful for them.
boy, that pretty much sums it all up right there. Yeah, I don't know what I can add.
Listen,
I'm
we're
not
stuck with them for
surprised.
15 years, so yeah.
People, full disclosure, EP is paid by Fanatics quite handsomely
I
to
wish,
talk on
God.
this.
This is
But-
just a backdrop for his mansion. Actually, this is a green screen that used to be behind him.
Yep.
He's got a Fanatics paid mansion, and I almost did make a joke that I was thankful for Fanatics. I should have. Now I'm regretting I didn't. I was thankful for the content they give us every week. Like that was legitimately one of mine that I had scratched. But yeah.
But we talk about being happy for others in the hobby. So I feel like I have to be happy for you as well that you're happy with Fanatics. Joe, I just kind of said the same thing Joe said in a slightly different way.
Yeah,
But yeah, we're happy for you
yes.
and thankful that you're happy by being thankful
Yes.
for
But you're also
Fanatics.
thankful for Fanatics? Question mark.
No, that
Yeah.
probably.
Okay.
Probably
I figured.
not. Give me, Aunt Amy, give me another drink. Uncle EP saying some crazy shit over here. Yeah. Okay.
All right. My last one. This one's a little, for me, but a little sappy, let's say. But
Okay.
I'm actually thankful for my wife because I am not exaggerating when I tell people that 4 of the rooms in our house right now have cards in it. And it's not because of her. It's not because of our kids. Not because of our dogs.
That'd be great if it was. It'd be great if it was.
And, with Thanksgiving being tomorrow and all the kids coming home, it makes me realize how much stuff I have because now I have to get it out and make room for the kids to come home and have somewhere to sleep and have room for us to actually have Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
Well, the dining room is a disaster too. But I really do appreciate her because she doesn't make a big deal about it. She might mention that, wow, there's a lot of stuff in there from time to time. But I mean, she is very, very understanding of me. And I have really taken over this home. Thankfully, the kids are all moved out. But boy, those days when they come back, it makes me realize how much stuff I have in here. And I have to get rid of stuff. But I am thankful for my wife, Amy.
Amy's great. EP and I love Amy.
Mhm.
How she deals with you
Don't know.
is sainthood.
It's
is
a
what I like to say.
street. It is a two.
I was going to say for every fart related incident, I will say if I was her, I'd be like, dude, look at all these cards. like back off. So yes, we love Amy. She's great. I almost had something similar with Rob, but mine's not as, because of my OCD. My cards are not strewn; they're pretty contained. But that's a really good one, and she deserves all the kudos.
Yeah, we love Amy. Amy's awesome. She's shown up to the shows a bunch of times, come with you a couple times, gone shopping and stuff. And sometimes she's just sits there a little bit, but like she understands. I don't think she sees the interactions and stuff. She knows the cool people in the hobby as well. And like we've been to your house, of course. I don't know if we've been there before one of your pack stack sales though, because I feel like you have all this card inventory, but then when you add the pack stack sale stuff, that is more bulky. So I'm picturing like you building your kitchen, your dining room table is going to just be card boxes for when you guys sit down for Thanksgiving dinner. Just
because I have to use it as my shipping center to pull all the cards. Yeah. So, all right, and we're going to give you a bonus thing because I think this is something we're all thankful for, and it's this silly little YouTube channel we do, and the chance that we get to hang out as friends and enjoy each other's company and have a hobby that we share a passion for. Like, this is why we're friends, because of cards, and we've remained friends even without cards. But I think it's kind of cool that we're friends again that are participating in cards and talking about cards and doing this silly little YouTube channel that somehow 1,500 plus people subscribe to.
Cool for you. I don't understand why. Like, what are you doing with your lives? Unsubscribe right now. Why are you subscribed? Just go. No. Okay, don't do that. Don't do that. Subscribe twice. I'm shocked by it. It's great that we have this community that we've built together. And you're right, Mike. I mean, it was a few weeks ago, and so we pull back the curtain. We record these on Sunday. We make the jokes, but we record them all on Sunday. And my favorite, sure. My favorite thing is Sundays recording with you guys and then going down and texting about fantasy football for the rest of the day. I mean, the fall weather, I have my coffee in my hand. I'm talking fantasy football. We just recorded talking about cards for a bunch of hours. I mean, it's always has been my favorite thing. I'm really happy about that. Thankful that, I have you guys. I can't imagine how someone without a group like us could collect cards like kind of by themselves. You
need somebody to say, yeah, you should buy it.
Do it.
Right. You need someone to say, don't be a bitch, bro, and just buy it. You need that person. So we have those people, and I'm very thankful for that as well.
I have on a number of occasions at the end of our recording on Sundays said to you guys, thank you for doing this. It was a lot of fun. And
every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
What are you talking about?
I mean, I have so much fun talking to you guys in general, but then when we're talking about cards and, it's another level. Like you kind of said, Mike, like the cards enhances it, right? Like, and it is so much fun. And I think what I've talked about our channel to a number of people at the people setting up at the card shows and people stopping by that pick up one of the business cards. And I talk about our origin story, like how we Mike had the shop and back in the 90s, and then all of a sudden now here we are together again. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, it's such an amazing story. And I really embrace that. I love it. It's awesome. And it's a little bit selfish for me because I enjoy this so much, but I don't often reply to the comments and stuff like that in a lot of the videos. I need to start being better about that because I do really care.
New Year's resolution. We'll do an episode about New Year's resolutions.
New Year's resolutions. Yes, that's definitely my number one. Yep.
All right. Well, there you have it. Everybody have a happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. I hope your belly is full. I know ours will be because look at us.
God.
Yes.
But let us know what you're thankful for down in the comments. And to the 1,500 plus of you that subscribed, I just want to say, if you do a second account and subscribe again, we'll have 3,000 subscribers. So there you have it. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. See you guys.
See you, boys.
Thanks, everybody.